Welcome to the Dynasty Rookie Mode podcast, where we take your skills from rookies to all pro. We're back today with another episode. Today is May 23rd, 2020. I'm Henry, your co-host, with my other co-host, Alex Martinez and Eduardo Martinez. What it do, guys?
What it do? Starting off with a bang.
Oh, nice.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, I wish I had one. Rochelle, can you go downstairs and give me an adult drink?
To bring back Capri Sun.
I'm just kidding. Today we have a trade scenario episode where we're gonna bring in a couple of trades to the table, and the other two are just gonna pretty much talk about it and debate about it. But before we get started, no NFL trades. I mean news. There's Carlos Hyde to the Seattle Seahawks. How you like that, Alex, for your Sea Chickens?
It's just a depth move. I don't really care too much about it.
No.
DJ Dallas is still there too. It's just because Rashad Penny is
injury prone.
More than likely not gonna start the season.
You might be on a pub to start out.
Yeah, so just like I said, it's a depth play. I don't really care too much about it. It's just they focus a lot through the run. So,
and Chris Carson's always injury prone. I mean, he could probably get some work, but I look at more as a shot to DJ Dallas, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's just going to be if Chris Carson and Rashad Penny aren't good to go, they have Carlos Hyde, a veteran, ready to start the season until they come back. But as soon as they're both back, I can see him being the third running back in that depth chart.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he did okay for the Texans last year, so it's a good depth.
He's under the radar, but Chris Carson, I think, is better. I think both Rashad Penny and Chris Carson are better than him at this point in his career.
Yeah. And another one of your boys, Josh Gordon, is trying to come back to the NFL for the sixth time.
Yeah.
Hey, now that weed's legal, now he can smoke some weed in the NFL. Shit, he might make it this time.
Yeah. You know what? Definitely hope the best for Josh Gordon. He's going to come in as an unrestricted free agent, right?
Yeah.
So teams are going to bid on him. He's already, 28, 29 years old.
29.
He's older. Yeah. He's going to go, if he does come back and is reinstated, we'll see where he goes. I don't think it's going to be too much of a factor, though.
Nah.
This point.
He's already up there in age.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We don't have a quick question, so we're just going to move on to the main topic. The trade scenario. So I'll start it off and have an interesting one. So it doesn't matter contending, not contending, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Patrick Mahomes in a one quarterback league. And the reason why I'm bringing this scenario up is because it was brought into our chat, whether it was playing around or not. It led into an interesting fact where one of our league mates put it on social media, and the Patrick Mahomes side got like the 20 votes to like 3 votes for Clyde, which is pretty interesting to me because it's a one quarterback league. And in one quarterback leagues, quarterbacks are interchangeable to me. I mean, yeah, having Patrick Mahomes locks you down for forever pretty much until he retires, but having an opportunity to get a top running back, I can't turn that down. So I'm surprised of the votes that the Patrick Mahomes side was getting.
Surprising. I'll start it off. I could see why Mahomes has the majority vote. The difference in points scored at the quarterback position, especially his sophomore season, was pretty significant. So I think a lot of people are seeing that as the reason why they're choosing Mahomes over Clyde Edwards. Give me Clyde Edwards just because the difference between RB1s and RB2s is higher than quarterbacks, especially now with Lamar Jackson and players taking a leap like Kyler Murray. I think you could find better quarterbacks, tiered quarterbacks in the later rounds. So I'll take Clyde Edwards-Helaire all day for me. And then in the same offense. So I could see a lot of the points being null by Patrick Mahomes. So, but still, give me a CEH.
Right.
With Clyde Edwards being in Kansas City, I don't think it's gonna be that much of a drop in touches for Patrick. Well, at least running yards in Patrick Mahomes' career, but him throwing it to CEH, that's probably why.
Makes sense.
I mean, I would take Patrick Mahomes all day long.
Really? So you would?
Well, not having a quarterback right now. Yeah,
it plays a factor into it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I got to depend on Drew Lock, which ain't gonna do shit, man. I mean, and I got him on my team.
I mean,
got a few league mates probably listening to this, so
yeah,
they're probably send you offers. I would.
He don't want to do it. He don't want to do it, man. I was like, bro, straight up, CEH for Patrick Mahomes. He's like, no. I was like, bro, I gave you Sanders pretty much with a bow on top. Like, yes.
It's crazy.
Efren, if you're listening, man, send it. Send it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like I said, like for me, I'd rather stream the quarterback. I'd rather get an old agent veteran to replace Patrick Mahomes if I have to. But he has Josh Allen, so that's a different case. I mean, Josh Allen's the quarterback one to me. Yeah. But to miss an opportunity on getting a top 10 back of the future, we're just assuming. But still, I mean, just to have that chance, give me that all day than over Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, his quarterback situation is set. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Eddie's the one initiating it. I'm like, Eddie, let's go. Let's send it. Send it right now.
Yeah.
Let's see how serious you are.
All right.
Oh, send it to Efren? Oh, hell no.
No. If I was Efren, I would send it to you because you were like, send it through. I'm like, all right, we'll do. We get a notification right now. Bloop. Trade proposal.
You gotta let those sit. Fuck it.
Right on.
All right, you guys can go ahead with the next question.
All right, I'll take the next one. All right, this one's pretty interesting. Christian McCaffrey so give a little bit of context. Both teams are in win now mode, and it's just more to improve each other's squads. So the options are CMC, Christian McCaffrey coming off a historic run, 1,000, over 460 points in total for Dalvin Cook and DK Metcalf. Let's hear it, boys. What do you guys think? Which side are you taking?
CMC.
Wow, that was pretty easy for you.
Hell yeah, you're replacing, pretty much a wide receiver in a running back position for two guys, It's just too much roster for just one guy,
It's not too far off, but I'm taking Christian McCaffrey too. I mean, Dalvin Cook, he's injury prone. And DK Metcalf, kudos to him. He almost hit 1,000 yards in his rookie season. But Christian McCaffrey is 2-1, man. That's his 1,000-yard season, multiple touchdowns, 1,000 yards rushing. I mean,
that's crazy.
He can do it all.
For all intents and purposes, let me add a little bit more context behind this. So you guys are more thinking.
Add another pick. Add something else.
No, we'll still leave the deal as is, but let me gauge more on the perspective, because I hear a lot of what happened last season. So this is going forward. Is it more because Dalvin Cook could simply lose so many games just because of injury, or do we not feel that DK Metcalf will take that next step forward?
For me,
Or just you think CMC just is going to repeat the same thing he did last year?
I will bank on Christian McCaffrey to repeat again, honestly, because
Okay.
he's mixed up with Teddy Bridgewater. You know, Terry Bridgewater is more of a check down kind of quarterback, and that's going to
Yeah.
benefit CMC a lot. And Panthers defense wasn't good last year, especially the rut. Well, I mean they're on the same team, but they give up so much points and yards, and it's going to bring Carolina playing from behind. And then Dalvin Cook's injury does scare me a little bit for that trade because I just rather have the running back that's going to be there for 16 games, 100% snaps every single game, and give me the same production DK Metcalf has given me. So I still rather have Christian McCaffrey.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't see DK improving too much either.
Okay. Like I said, just wanted to add a little bit more perspective and see more of the reasoning behind the answer. But I can see it, man. I probably would pick Christian McCaffrey. It's hard to give that up.
It is.
Eddie, yeah, you have one for us to go over?
I mean, you know, since I like rebuilding, it'll probably be from a rebuilding team. But I was thinking about me getting Harry for AJ Green, so pawning off AJ Green for N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, you kind of sold it with the position your team is, which is rebuilding. So you have a veteran asset. So that means that you're not looking to win anytime soon. You're just trying to build them Legos up for you to get that championship. So yeah, N'Keal Harry, obviously, because of the situation that you're in, and he was highly viewed as being even the 101 in 2018. He didn't have that opportunity because he got hurt. Give me N'Keal.
Should I even go as far as add a 3rd round pick if I was giving away AJ Green because time's ticking?
Yeah, if you have a hesitant owner, yeah,
it is.
That may get it done.
And this is a good way to get like those rookies that didn't perform too well their first year that were high, they were high draft capital to get them on a cheap right now because definitely even if I'm not rebuilding, I will much rather have Harry over Green, honestly. If I lost my train of thought.
You have to kill Harry over him even if AJ Green.
Even if I'm contending, I still would rather have Harry. I mean,
that's bold.
Even with New England, they said that that he's in for a workload, whatever that means, and it's pretty hard to predict what the Patriots offense is going to be. But if he is their 1 or even 2, I mean, he can only build off of that, and he was, our 2019 top 2 pick. So
yeah, the situation matters. You have a new quarterback in New England, so he hasn't really built the rapport with any of the receivers. Edelman is already older. They don't have really much tight end besides rookies that they drafted. N'Keal Harry, yeah, I could see that point. N'Keal Harry coming in could easily step in as a wide receiver too.
If anything, his touchdowns is going to be really high.
Yeah, I could see him going 10. Yeah. 10 and 700, 800 yards this upcoming season.
Yeah.
Just because he's going to be targeted so much in that red zone situation. So, yeah, I like that. But, yeah, definitely try to give me N'Keal Harry over AJ.
All right. I got one for you guys.
Let's go.
Make it interesting.
Let's go.
Got Miles Sanders. Myers. It's got Christian McCaffrey 1 2.
Okay.
Now, this is the rebuilding team. He's trading away Christian McCaffrey, but he's getting back Miles Sanders and Courtland Sutton.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's a lot more even for me.
Oh, Eddie, you want to start it off right there, or
I mean, you're gonna be going off the facts that the Eagles are gonna go more Sanders in touches, but I mean, like the Eagles work a different way, man, and I don't think they have that much faith in Sanders. But Sanders is a beast, and he might be able to hold out a whole season. I mean, if I was rebuilding CMC, I don't think he's gonna let off for a couple of years, so it makes it tight. But with Cortland Sutton, I mean, he was a beast, man. I mean, he's got to compete against Jerry Jeudy in touches, but I think his rapport with Drew Lock is going to be better than Jerry Jeudy, even later on in the year. So I don't know. I think I'm giving away CMC.
Okay, and I think this is the first time we're gonna disagree. Oh wait, no, you say you're taking CMC? Hold on, you said you're giving them away.
I'm giving them up.
I'm keeping them, and not necessarily more that I because you're in a rebuilding team. I think that's key, right? CMC, he's young still, but he's handled so much work already in these 3 years he's been in the NFL. Sanders, I like Sanders a lot. Sutton is where I'm kind of questioning, just because we haven't seen what he could do with Jerry Jeudy there, Fant taking the next step, Melvin Gordon stealing a lot of the check downs. I'm holding CMC right now only because I think I could give it more. If you're a rebuilding team, I think you shouldn't just really settle for any trade unless it is a haul, especially for CMC right now, coming off a really historic season. I think you can get more, honestly. So just because of that, I'm holding CMC.
So you don't think CMC's reached his plateau? You think he's still going up?
Well, we just talked about it earlier. We thought that he's going to – well, Henry said he thinks he's going to repeat the season that he had last year. So even if you hold him for another season, I don't think his value is going to drop significantly unless, he gets hurt, which could definitely happen. It's in the realm of possibilities just because, all the touches he's getting, they're funneling the offense through him. So I think teams have more of an understanding that the offense will move through Christian McCaffrey. But I think his value still stays the same, even if you hold him another season, you're rebuilding. But I think if you get maybe even a 2021 first, I'm sorry, probably that's when I'll be like, all right, let's make this deal happen.
Yeah, I will go CMC too, honestly. I think the Alex scenarios was a lot closer. Dalvin Cook and DK Metcalf. Just because, Miles Sanders, I mean, we saw him do it, but at the same time, it was just given it to him. He didn't have the whole full workload to begin with Jordan Howard still there.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, he's gone. But I'm not that confident in Peterson. I mean, some way, somehow, he might bring in somebody and mess up that backfield. But I still like Miles Sanders as an RB1 this year, but not enough to give up Christian McCaffrey, even if I'm rebuilding.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, let's not forget, he averaged 30 points last season per game. That's a big difference. That's a huge difference, even with Miles Sanders and Sutton being combining points per game. I think Christian McCaffrey still has him beat. But I want a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean,
especially
with CMC, you could shop around a lot, bro. Like, you could probably get the world for his ass right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could.
Yeah.
And you should. If you're selling him, you should.
That's definitely something like you mentioned. You could get more from. So just keep that trade, because that trade is still going to be on the table. People, closer to the season, that trade's still going to be on the table. So if you even think about it, okay, let me go back to it. Hey, Miles Sanders Sutton, go ahead and send it for CMC. But kind of gauge that interest with your league mates. Like, hey, CMC's on the block, man. I already have a really good offer on the table. What can you guys bring?
So,
and kind of go from there.
If the guy trying to get CMC were offer up his first, you would go for it?
Yeah, I would. Especially in a rebuilding team, you're trying to acquire as many picks as you can. Next year's class isn't as prolific as what 2020 was to be, but there's still a lot of players that were supposed to come out 2020 that are going back to school.
Yeah.
So you could definitely even get like a Travis Etienne type player.
I mean, in the late first though. I mean, the early first, yeah, you might.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true. But that early, again, you're evaluating the team when it comes to next year's picks, right? So you could be an injury or two away from being a top contending team to middle of the pack. So it's worth the risk. You could easily get the 12th pick, or you could get the 3rd pick. You just never know. All right, you guys want to move on to the next trade?
Yep.
All right, so this is the one that I have, and it's interesting because I want to see where you guys feel about this trade, because to me it's close, and I could see both ways. So Tyreek Hill and Josh Jacobs for Michael Thomas and Amari Cooper.
All right, I'll start it off. So you're trading away Michael Thomas, which is I would say he's my number 1 wide receiver right now.
Yeah.
For Amari Cooper, which is top 10, 11. I don't really like to put him there, but
that's where he's going.
Yeah, it's where he's going. For Tyreek Hill, who I have behind Adams, or no, maybe Hopkins, and Josh Jacobs, who's like my top 8
running back.
Yeah. So
if
I'm putting this in perspective, I'm getting 2 middle guys for one who's higher end and one who's at the bottom or back end of my rankings. So I would much rather have Tyreek Hill over Josh Jacobs, just because I think Tyreek Hill can bring the same amount of fantasy points as Michael Thomas can. Yeah. And Josh Jacobs, you're going to solidify with that RB1 spot. I mean, right now, the top 12 running backs is a lot of competition, especially with these rookies. But I think Josh Jacobs, I don't like to see other people's rankings, but sometimes I look at them, just to see where ADP-wise and see what people think of other running backs. And right now, Josh Jacobs, consensus-wise, is at least 8 over all the rookies.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I'm hurting a running back, definitely, man. And I think Amari Cooper, he had his run, but he's just not the answer, dude. He's just a frustrating player to own. I mean, we already covered it here in this podcast, but Amari Cooper, he can finish as a top 5 wide receiver, but how is he gonna get there? Probably with 300-yard games, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, he's very much a boom bust type player. He skews his numbers by having 3-4 big games, and then he disappears. So I'm asking for a friend right now. Okay, asking for a friend.
Okay.
So this is actually a trade that was offered to me, and I'm the Michael Thomas and Amari Cooper side.
Okay.
It's a 14-team league.
14,
right? Superflex tight end premium, and I was offered today. I was offered that Michael Thomas and Amari Cooper. At first, I was hesitant. My best running back, which I just traded for, is Jonathan Taylor. Besides that, I have a whole bunch of no bodies. I think second best running back, is like Jamal Williams.
Wow, damn.
Yeah. I went really heavy on wide receiver just because that tends to be my strategy. Is use super flex. It's obviously going quarterback, and then getting wide receiver, and then just building running back. But I think I have a good chance of making a run. So I got that offer, and I'm actually in talks with the guy that sent me the offer. It was initiated by him.
Okay.
So I think I can get a little bit more. He has like Latavius Murray on his roster. His roster is pretty good, but it's really top heavy, and he doesn't really have too much depth. So I could get probably a guy like Latavius Murray on top of that trade. And if I can, I'll probably shoot and take it. What do you guys think?
So you'll be giving up Michael Thomas and Amari Cooper for Tyreek Hill and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I like the Josh Jacobs and Tyreek Hill. I don't really see Amari Cooper doing anything anymore, really. He's just going to go down from here, especially with CeeDee Lamb being there. But with all the targets and Dallas being healthy, that hurts him even more. And then Michael Thomas, I don't think he's going to be top 3 after this year, to the truth, because their quarterback is going to be either Bridgewater and Hill.
Well, Drew Brees is on a 1-year deal. A lot of speculation that he's not going to come back.
Jameis is in a 1-year deal too.
Who?
Jameis?
Yeah, Jameis is on a 1-year deal. They had talks that they see Taysom Hill as the quarterback of the future. Well, I mean, that's kind of questionable. Very questionable.
Very.
So you don't know where the quarterback layout's going to be. And Michael Thomas has proven, even with Teddy Bridgewater, that he could still be the alpha there. But you just never know. You don't know how long Sean Payton's going to even be there. And how long that offense is going to be as high octane as it is now. So I think I may just take that deal, just because I think Tyreek Hill will be a Chief for much longer, and he's going to have a better quarterback at all times. And Josh Jacobs could easily take that step forward into that running back 1 range. So I think I may take that deal.
Yeah, and just to put into perspective, Josh Jacobs missed 2 games, and he still scored 5 more points than Amari Cooper. I mean, different positions, but still, I mean, you do need a running back. So, and you say you're loaded at wide receiver. So, yeah, I'll definitely do that. And if you can get Murray, that's even more.
The cherry on top.
Yeah, the cherry on top. Which is, I mean, Latavius Murray, but still, if anything can happen to Kamara, at least you have that.
Exactly. All right, Eddie, what's your next trade for us?
With this one, I was thinking I'll be a contending team. So, but I still wanted to be in the play. I was thinking more in the playoffs, deeper in the season. So I would pretty much be giving up Montgomery plus DJ Dallas for J.K. Dobbins, which wouldn't really help me out in the beginning of the season, but I feel like J.K. Dobbins, once, you're in the playoffs, if you're a contending team, he would help you out a lot.
Okay, so that's a key thing you just said. You said you think you're a playoff team, but you're going to obviously tell you're more middle of a pack is what you're saying. You're more middle of a pack, and you're trying to make that playoff push later down the season. Which is interesting because a lot of folks, including myself, think that J.K. Dobbins will lead the touches in Baltimore that second half of the season. Just because he's so athletic. They're a really run-heavy team, and something easily could happen to Mark Ingram. He's 29. So I think they're going to start integrating more in the offense. So, yeah, that's a good deal. I think that's pretty fair. David Montgomery may even be a high-end RB2 just because he has so much volume, and even Nick Foles may boost that productivity if he is the starter, obviously. But if you're a contending team and you see J.K. Dobbins starting to project as being the lead back in a high rushing offense, yeah, give me J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, Nick Foles should win that spot. He's a Super Bowl MVP over Mitch Trubisky. So hold on. So I mean, he should take that spot, which is going to boost David Montgomery's production. But either way, I'm still taking J.K. Dobbins. I love the talent. Even with the situation, I mean, he can. If he splits even with Ingram, he's gonna have more relevance than Ingram.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And you being in the middle of the pack team, I mean, that's a for sure RB1 right there. So
yeah,
give me that. My turn.
Your turn. You're next up.
All right. Josh Jacobs, another Josh Jacobs. Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt. Well, I had another Michael Thomas. You want to hear that one? Josh Jacobs and Kareem Hunt for Barkley.
Ooh. Okay.
I will say the Barkley owner, or the one that's trading away Barkley, his best running back is just like yours, Alex. Jamal Williams.
Okay, so he's
hurting.
Okay. I mean, that makes it easier for me then. I'll take Jacobs and Hunt over Barkley, because if you could get two backs, even if they're running back twos, and get that production from both, and obviously Hunt, he's on a 1-year deal, so he could easily transition to another team and be that running back one role.
Do you think we're going to see that?
Huh?
Do you think we're going to see that happen with Kareem Hunt?
I think so, man. I think so. Like, why not? Why not give him the opportunity?
They picked up Harrion from Georgia.
Yeah, like, why not?
They got some running back talent there, man. They can afford to get rid of somebody.
Yeah, Nick Chubb is obviously the guy there. You know, he's vastly more talented than Kareem Hunt, I think.
I mean, Dorsey's the one who brought Kareem Hunt to Cleveland, so it only makes sense. Dorsey's out the door now. It's Hunt's time to go too, because I mean they're not gonna pay him.
Exactly, they're trying to load up and get all the weapons for Baker Mayfield, so that way he could take a next step forward, and they could possibly make a playoff push with the team that they had. And Kareem Hunt, for his past was somewhat cheap. A lot of teams didn't really want to look for him just because of what he's been associated with, But Kareem Hunt did pretty well, I would say, in Kansas City. So Kareem Hunt moving to another team, and you're really banking on that. That's really why I'm taking that other side. You're really banking on Kareem Hunt going to another team and possibly being an RB1 again. And Jacobs, like we just talked about, we kind of have high hopes that he's going to take the next leap forward. And if you're a running back needy team, you got Saquon Barkley, you could unload and get 2 running backs. They could be pretty good key roles in your team. I don't see why not.
Eddie?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're just adding weapons to Daniel Jones as well, man. Danny Dimes. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to run Saquon as much. They're going to be a lot smarter with him to keep him healthy. So I don't think his touches are going to be as much as it used to be. So I definitely like the Josh Jacobs, Kareem Hunt. And the depth that they have in Cleveland right now at running back, they can afford to get rid of Kareem Hunt and gain another asset, because they're hurting in wide receiver. I mean, I know they got Odell Beckham Jr., but what else?
Yeah, it's true. Man, I love Josh Jacobs, as you guys can tell. You already know.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't feel comfortable giving up Barkley for that, for Jacobs and Hunt. And it's just a lot of, you need to bank on things to happen. It's not like it's all guaranteed. We all hope for Jacobs. I mean, I hope for Jacobs to take the next step, but they said they're going to involve him more in passing game, because that's where he really didn't excel. He only got like 27 targets or something like that for a running back, for an RB1, which is pretty low. And they said they're going to involve him, but they brought in, I mean, they re-signed Rashard. They brought in Lynn Bowden. And with Kareem Hunt, same thing. I mean, is there really a lot of running back job openings right now? I can think a couple, but I mean, not really.
Yeah, he's under a really good running back and still put up numbers. So I mean,
you never know. He may fall in a really good landing spot, or he may re-sign with the Cleveland Browns. You just never know, and it may be that change of pace back that they're using them as now. He kind of, when he came in, he stole obviously a lot of the passing work from Nick Chubb. And they kind of view him as that. But I just think that we've seen him take that feature back role and has been great on it. But again, that's with Kansas City. Who doesn't look good with Kansas City,
Right. And that's why I was asking, like, do you really think, like, because that's the scenario, what everybody's hoping with Kareem Hunt is that we've seen him do it. Why can't we see him do it again? But is he going to get the opportunity? That's the ultimate question at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's very much so. I mean, it's true. It's just banking on a lot of optimist thought that Kareem Hunt's going to go land and be a feature back somewhere. But if you need the help and your second best running back is Jamal Williams, or the jump between your players is that severe, why not just add two pieces that you could flex? Because I'm assuming your wide receivers look good if there's just a big disparity between your running backs. So, yeah, that's my thought process behind it.
All right.
I'll still kind of second guess it, but you just never know. All right, is my turn?
Yeah.
I got a good one for you guys. I kind of just thought about it right now on the jump. All right. Davante Adams. Now, I'm not throwing any context behind it just because I want to add a little bit, because I think that if we say this team's a rebuilding or this team's a contending team, it makes the decision a little bit easier. So I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. Davante Adams, for Allen Robinson and CeeDee Lamb. Eddie, you're a Cowboy fan. I think you should start
it. You know which way I'm going. I mean, Allen Robinson's really not that bad.
He's not. Yeah.
He's the number one there for sure. His quarterback sucks. Nick Foles is going to have to do something, but that's. And then CeeDee Lamb, man, the sky's the limit with that guy, bro. I think I'm going that direction.
Okay. Henry, what do you think?
I can't. It's Davante Adams. I mean,
okay.
His whole scenario with Green Bay is that he's the only weapon, and that's been the case for like 2 or 3 years already, for as long as I can remember. That's why he's been a top dynasty pick for the last couple of years. And yeah, Allen Robinson, I think he finished top 13, 14. He was up there. And getting CeeDee Lamb, who can pretty much be a top 8 wide receiver in the future. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But whether I'm contending or rebuilding, I'm keeping Adams for that price. I just feel like Adams has that potential to be that wide receiver 1. He has the capabilities of scoring double digits and being the only target with Aaron Rodgers. I'm taking Adams over Robinson and CeeDee Lamb.
So you definitely think that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to digress from here?
Even if he is digressing, because he is, regressing right now, but he's still producing numbers.
And they didn't draft another wide receiver. So Davante Adams is still going to get the targets there. He was hurt last season, but if you take a 2018 stats and you kind of just see how great he did, I mean, Davante Adams was definitely a league winner in 2018 just because of how many targets he was getting and how often he was being seen in the red zone. But saying that, the reason I brought that up is because I knew that Eddie obviously is going to lean towards CD, so I wanted to see his perspective, and I knew that Henry was a big Davante Adams guy, so I wanted to see your perspective.
I mean, it's not far. Don't get me wrong. It's not far at all. Throw in a first with that trade, and I'll probably do it.
You know what? I wouldn't even need that. I would take. I mean, if you could get that, obviously get more and get the haul.
Well, yeah, of course.
Obviously. But Allen Robinson actually finished in the top 5 targeted wide receivers last season.
I'm not surprised, Mitch Trubisky.
And Mitch Trubisky was just overthrowing him.
Yeah.
So he's still the guy with a better game manager in Nick Foles. And CeeDee Lamb is walking into a lot of vacated targets with Randall Cobb not being there, Jason Witten not being there. Even him overtaking Michael Gallup, I wouldn't be surprised. And him eclipsing 1,000 yards in his rookie season, I wouldn't be surprised just because of how dominant he is again after the catch. And how we talked about Amari Cooper disappears a lot in games. So to me, I'll take the Allen Robinson and CeeDee Lamb side. Right. No matter if I'm a contending team or not, I think Allen Robinson, you're still getting that production, and you're getting a plus with CeeDee Lamb hitting in his rookie season. So I'll take A-Rob and CeeDee.
That's not a bad trade at all.
No, it's not. I think that could get done in a lot of leagues.
Shit, I wish I had Devontae Adams so I could get me some CeeDee Lamb.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you can. Shoot.
You possibly can. I'll be back.
Yeah, you pretty much can. I mean, unless you're rebuilding, I don't see why teams wouldn't accept an Adams for a CeeDee Lamb kind of trade.
Yeah.
You have another question, Eddie?
Nah, that was my last one. I didn't really think of any. I mean, I was kind of seeing where you guys' mind is because I'm not the best trader out there. So, I mean, I kind of got a better grasp on.
No, me, man. You pulled Stephon Diggs for a 101. That makes you a Hall of Famer trade to me.
Freaking lucky.
Okay, well, how do you feel about this one? Terry McLaurin for Le'Veon Bell.
McLaurin for Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're rebuilding, contending, wide receiver needy, running back needy. Just how do you like that value for player?
Yeah, I don't think Gandy Golden's going to add too much competition for McLaurin. Even though I do like him, he was top 12 in rookie. But I might have to go with McLaurin with that one, man. I don't see Bell hasn't done anything he's done in the Steelers at the Jets.
No,
so
he hasn't.
If he was at the Steelers, yeah, Le'Veon Bell all the way, but he's not.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's offense when Le'Veon Bell was there, it's dynamic, man. They had 2 wide receiver ones, an RB1. They were just electric, but I will lean Terry McLaurin's side. I will rather have McLaurin over Le'Veon Bell. Alex, wink, wink. I'm giving you the topic since you just came back.
I'm walking into this. I kind of figured that was the idea. I'm okay.
But whether I'm contending, rebuilding, I'm taking Terry McLaurin. I love the upside that he has as a high-end wide receiver too. Washington didn't really bring anybody to compete with him, so he was a big draft winner, actually. And, I mean, with Dwayne Haskins, he didn't perform so well last year, but he was progressing towards the end of the year, so we'll see where that takes him. And, Alex Smith's still there. Alex Smith's my boy, man. If you guys haven't watched that documentary yet, Project 11.
Project 11.
Yeah, you should.
Good. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
All right, so the question is just there's no it's just a straight up trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scary Terry all day. Enough said. Enough said. All right. Well, who's up next?
Eddie ran out of ideas, so
Eddie ran out of ideas.
Yeah, y'all better at trading than me. You know what I'm saying? So I was just coming up with some scenarios that I would like, and pretty much they all got young players in it. So,
Eddie, let me ask you this one because let's bring it more into our leagues and teams that we own and players that we own. I own Dalvin Cook in our Empire League. And Of course, I think I got him for cheap. I think you guys probably would agree too. I got him for cheap, especially after the draft. I'm not looking to trade him, but I'm interested in seeing what your opinion is, and I want to see Henry's opinion because he's the outside looking in. Eddie, if I'm not mistaken, you own Jonathan Taylor in that league, or you own no. You own. I'm sorry, you own. No, you do own Jonathan Taylor. You own Jonathan Taylor and Calvin Ridley. And Calvin Ridley, right?
Yeah.
Would you do those two players for Dalvin Cook?
Hell no, man. I got so much faith in Calvin Ridley, bro. Especially, I mean, Julio Jones was supposed to go out the league, especially after he had his ankle injury. And that's why I like Ridley so much because, he's in line to take over number one there. But Julio Jones is just such a beast, bro. That shit didn't stop him at all. But next couple of years, Ridley's gonna be number one, man, and he doesn't look too bad for a number two. That's for sure.
Okay.
And then Jonathan Taylor's not gonna give me that much in the passing game, but I think he's in the right offensive line to actually have some targets, maybe.
Okay. I don't want to hear it. I kind of just thought about it right now. So obviously, I don't think that deal would ever get done. But Henry, would you mind stepping in and kind of sharing what you think about that offer?
So you said Ridley Taylor for who? Cook?
Dalvin Cook, yeah.
Dalvin Cook. Okay, see, I didn't hear exactly. I was distracted, but I kind of
thought I said Brandon Cooks.
That's why I was like, wait, what?
What? Instant yes.
Honestly, I was surprised to see Calvin Ridley. His ADP is so damn high right now. I honestly wouldn't pay that price. I think he's in the 4th, 5th round. But yeah. I mean, I could see why. Julio Jones is trending down, or so we've said for the past.
So we think.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still producing.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I'm gonna lean with Eddie. I'm taking Calvin. I'm taking Taylor. Taylor, he has that top 5 potential with the Colts, that offensive line. Phillip Rivers, whether it's Phillip Rivers, Jacob Eason, or they bring somebody else, they're going to rely on Taylor. I mean, Rivers just doesn't have that in him. I mean, from what I saw in L.A., And Calvin Ridley, same thing. Like, I honestly wouldn't pay that price, but I understand why, he's so high. His rookie season, he scored double digits. He didn't score double digits last year, but he's progressing. And whether it's this year or next year, he's going to take that step forward and become a wide receiver 1 for Atlanta.
Okay, I wasn't close then. All right. I got an idea now.
You guys want to go with one more question?
Yeah, I mean, you have another one? I'm all out. I kind of just freestyled that one.
All right, how about this one, Eddie? You're gonna like this one because this is for you. So you have Michael Thomas. You're rebuilding right now, and somebody offer you Jalen Reagor, T. Higgins, and David Montgomery. For Michael Thomas.
I don't think that's a hard one. I mean, if I'm rebuilding, of course.
But are you going to accept every trade that gets thrown at you just because you're rebuilding? I mean, I can throw in all these other different rookies, Bryan Edwards and freaking Pittman. Yeah.
I think it's where you value those rookies, where you see them projecting.
Like I said, I don't think Michael Thomas is going to have the production he's had with Drew Brees without him, So that's kind of like where I'm going with it, is that he's going to degress from this point on without Drew Brees. I mean, it's the only thing making him. Carson Wentz with Reagor, I'll take it all day long. Burrow with Higgins, it might not do well this year, but next year for sure.
And David Montgomery,
yeah.
Montgomery is kind of like an iffy for me. they don't know how to use them. They know how to use them, they just don't use them, which is a problem. But I think that team's on the up and up. I think they'll figure out how to use them more.
Okay. I think just because of the season Michael Thomas had, he had 1,700 yards, over 130, 140. How many receptions did he have again? Like 300? He had a monster season. He had a monster season. Like Eddie said, he kind of is questionable for the future because who's going to be Drew Brees' successor? How is that going to factor in? Even though I think he is so talented, it doesn't really matter. But he's already older too. Let's not forget that I think he's going to be 27 this season. He's already an older wide receiver, which really, okay, let me rephrase that. It's not old. He's still in the prime of his career with a lot more years left. But if you're a rebuilding team, I think I'm going to take the same route that I had with Sanders and Sutton for CMC. I'd rather take Michael Thomas here. So I think you get more from him. You get a lot more. I think if you could even switch out like Rager, you could leave Rager and switch out like Higgins for if the owner has CeeDee Lamb and David Montgomery.
Don't make it easy now.
For a lot of people, it still would be an instant no. A lot of people would still see that as a no. Because you just never know how they're going to pan out. Michael Thomas is still obviously one of the more alpha wide receivers, if not the alpha wide receiver right now.
That's true.
So it really depends on which players. I think at this time with this person, you got to kind of, how do you value your rookies? Where do you value your rookies? Or how high do you value Michael Thomas? Because I'm assuming this is someone reaching out to the Michael Thomas owner and saying, this is what I'll give you for him. I'm rebuilding here. Let me give you this. Or I'm contending, let me give you this for this player. But I think I'll hold out. I'll probably say that I'll still take Michael Thomas here. You can get more.
Yeah, I don't think Michael Thomas I don't think he's just, left for dead right after Drew Brees is retired. In 3 out of the 5 games with Terry Bridgewater, he averaged over 12 targets. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be, but we know at least that he's in the scheme of things, Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. You just never know. He could be definitely someone that doesn't really need. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He's kind of like a DeAndre Hopkins. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He's still going to succeed because he's just so much better than the opposition. So yeah,
for sure.
Keep Michael Thomas, man.
All right, boys. That's been your trade. Your trades. Yeah, it's been your trades today. Whether you like them or not, declined. Freaking, send us a counter. Shit.
For real, man. That's just a negotiation, man. Yeah. So that's just the beginning.
For reals. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe that button, man. I'm waiting for our first review. Somebody, please holla.
Please, man. Please let us know how we're doing.
Yeah.
I know we're doing great.
Y'all.
Yeah. All right, man.
Peace. All right, man. Later.
Edwards, send that trade.